Hello, people.
Hello.
Welcome to Something's Brewing.
Oh, something's brewing with the jet.
Did you pull an Earl?
I was thinking about Earl. I actually was thinking about Earl.
Did you know that Earl went into my closet before he came on air and raided my closet and wore my clothes?
It sounds like Earl.
Does
I've been knowing him for over 40 years now. And, used to wear cha-cha heels when we were younger.
Really?
Yeah, he used to
Really?
steal my mom's cha-cha heels.
That's wild, Jen. Wow. So Earl is quite the character. So today, I'm having, again, same thing, sorry, so boring. Whole Foods organic decaf coffee with vanilla and just a splash of salted caramel.
I'm doing vanilla and shortbread.
Yes, Stumpton coffee.
Stumptons.
Coffee, yeah.
It just spilled all my tits.
Oh. Oh, I'm sure there's some people that
sorry.
won't mind that.
Okay.
You're just trying to wake them up, Jen. I get it.
It really.
Oh God, I can't get this microphone. Okay, here we go.
We're having funks today because this is not the usual day that we film.
Yeah. But it's weird
because I had burnout.
It kind of feels like a Sunday, though.
It kind of feels like a Sunday.
It's weird. It's weird. It does not feel like a Tuesday. By the way, we're filming on Tuesday.
So you'll be seeing this. You'll be remote viewing this on Thursday.
If you view it when it first comes out.
Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, who knows when you're viewing it. So I wanted to mention something really quick, which I'm already burping, which I find I find hilarious. Of all our podcast episodes, the one that has been the most popular and gotten the most views was the one we did on porn, Jen.
Oh, wow. I wonder why. I wonder why. No.
You put porn in the title. That's what happens. It's funny. So from now on, we just put like.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
No, with the porn.
We have an audience.
No, yeah. Just because just because it says porn doesn't mean you're gonna see porn.
Okay.
Yes.
So interesting enough, when we're gonna talk about cheaters and porn. Well,
cheating in general, and all about cheating.
So, can you get back with someone if they cheated? Now, I'm talking, it doesn't matter if it was one time, twice, whatever. Can you make it work?
Like some people we know with several.
Yeah, some people we know think it's their national anthem.
Snarf!
Yeah, Snarf is a chronic cheater.
Chronic. A lot of things. Yes. And so is it, the thing is it, first of all, is it a deal breaker? Is cheating a deal breaker? First of all, for you, Jen, is that a deal breaker?
Yeah, it made me adjust my underwear. Cheating is not a deal breaker at first, but if you do it over and over again, it's a deal breaker. It's not going to work. And I've got a theory. You know Pet Sematary?
The movie. Yeah.
The movie Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
You get back with a cheater.
Oh.
It's Pet Sematary. You're bringing that dog back to life.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the fucking same.
Where am I?
Oh, my little girl. Oh, you're home.
I feel like it's.
And you're going to wish you killed it again.
That's
all I got to say.
It's true. I feel like once a person cheats in a relationship, let's say they cheat once and then the partner forgives them, right? I feel like it's much easier for that person to cheat again.
Exactly.
I feel like it's it's already out there.
It becomes
and I feel
she'll probably take me back again.
They take
Our
it
love is
for
so
granted.
strong
that
it's not gonna be an issue.
True. They take it for granted and they'll take it eventually. Maybe for a while they'll be like, "Woof, that was a close one. I almost lost that person." And I'm saying person because it happens with men and women. but for different reasons. But we're gonna get into that. But yeah, they'll
It's
go
just
back
it's
and
not easy. Yeah, it's
they'll
not
think,
a
oh, okay, I almost lost them, and then they get comfortable again, and then it's like, okay, well,
yeah.
I think they'll be okay. I don't know.
Will they though?
Or they
Like,
think
this
that
is making my like underwear bunch up really bad.
I think first of all,
Frustrating me.
oh my,
Okay.
the cheating.
Whew.
I think
Okay.
that some people believe that they can get away with it.
Some people believe that they can get away with it.
Yeah, they won't
And
get caught.
when they get caught, then they do it over and over and over again. This might not be the case. It might be someone that you're married to and they have an affair.
Right.
And then they go ahead and they have that, maybe that pattern. I feel like there's certain patterns that come into play, and it's an addiction. Little bit of an addiction for the opposite person.
Yeah.
Well, what can I get away with? First, it
Right.
might start with a little weird porn watching. Then it might turn with a little, oh, I asked for this chick's number somewhere, but I wasn't going to do anything.
And then they talk for,
Yeah.
they like emotionally flirt or emotionally cheat. Sorry. Emotionally cheat first. There's like flirting and there's emotional cheat. Usually emotional cheating comes before, and I say emotional, it doesn't have to be love, but it's just like cheating, like not just physically having sex. That usually comes first. And then if they get away with that, they're like testing the waters. And then, yeah. It happens, but men and women are very different in the way they approach it, I feel, for the most part.
For the most part,
For
yeah.
the most, now, that's not to say everybody, but I do feel like men, I mean, they just want to, it's not always emotional. Sometimes they just want to conquer. They don't feel satisfied in their relationship, and
a lot of
usually
them,
sexually. Usually
I think
sometimes
Sometimes it might be
always.
that midlife crisis cheat.
It's true.
And they do it one time. And I've seen this happen with couples, with people that are married. They do it maybe one time. And I'm so sorry for this affair. They go to some kind of therapy for it, and they actually work through it.
Yeah.
But you have to put in a lot of work for something like that to get resolved. Otherwise, my theory stands still. You're like, it's Pet Cemetery death. You're bringing back a dead animal,
Right.
and it's never the same love that you originally had. It will never work. That is only my theory.
It does.
I don't think that's for everyone.
There is a trust issue that happens, and once you lose trust, it's really hard to gain that back. And, for women, though, I will say when women cheat, watch out, because usually when women cheat, it's an emotional thing.
When women cheat,
yes, and usually,
it's not for sex.
It's
is
usually
fully
not
in love. Like,
yeah, like they have
Yeah.
feelings. They don't cheat unless they're like emotionally involved with the person that they're cheating with.
It's like, bitch, I'm gonna leave you. I'm involved. I
Right.
love this
Very
person.
rarely, yeah, women are ready to like leave if they're cheating. The husband's usually husband boyfriend is not giving them the affection, not sex, but the affection and the attention that they feel that they need. And so they will go elsewhere. Or sometimes it's not that they're looking for it, it just happens. That is why when women cheat on men, it's usually, sorry guys, they're probably gonna like leave you.
Yeah,
Most
this is true.
Most likely going to leave your ass because you are not paying attention to them.
Listen, this happened with a particular person that we know. And I had an emotional affair, and I was very wrapped up in this emotional affair. And this was,
but in all fairness,
yeah,
they were cheating on you before.
They already had cheated.
Yes,
so I had an emotional affair with someone that lived very far away. The reality of that coming to actually ever happening was so far, but it was like I had to fantasize about something positive because I was in such a dark place with this person who you can feel it, even though you didn't know, they never admit it. You can feel they were cheating, and it was with multiple people.
Yeah,
and it's a sickening feeling.
It is. I had the same problem, the same experience. I did not though. I didn't cheat on him at all. I did not cheat emotionally or physically or anything.
No.
I probably would have had every right to, but this is how I see it. Like if I'm done. Like if I'm seeking out, if I'm with somebody else, seeking out someone else, I'm just done. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hang on to it. So
yeah, it gets to a
Yeah,
point
I
where you're just
wouldn't
like,
do
I'm
it.
done, and
Yeah.
you feel, I often, everyone uses the term gaslit now, or gaslighting,
Gaslighting.
or narcissist, or whatever the case.
Yeah, there's
Your
gaslighting.
intuition will always tell you when it's happening. You know it's happening. You can
You
feel it.
do.
You feel sick. You get anxiety. You
Mhm.
can't really sleep because you're like, I know something's going on. I know something's going on. And
Mhm.
all of that gives you a little bit of PTSD, okay? So when you get back together with someone,
Yeah.
and you give them numerous chances, all of that comes back.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of
it does.
PTSD. And you're like, why am I acting this way? Because it's not the same, guys. It can't be the same. I really feel like only with a marriage or maybe with kids or something, you can bring that back together. But
Maybe.
when you shoot too many holes in the boat, that shit sinks. That's my theory.
I agree. I'll agree with that. I will. I feel that. Yeah, once something's spoiled, it's spoiled.
Yeah.
It is trying to bring something back to life.
You don't want to
And-
reuse a dirty tissue.
Or
I mean, I know it's
or a condom.
or a dirty tampon.
A dirty condom. Jen.
A dirty condom.
A used condom. You cannot use a used condom.
You cannot use a used condom with a fishy, disgusting odor on it from someone else.
And God, that's too real.
Not me, though.
No, I mean like
Yeah,
the
no, it's
cheating
really
thing.
gross.
Like oh gosh. Anyway,
It's not the same though. You have like PTSD. I'm telling you, you can't unfucking see mentally certain things going on after. You're just like, ugh. You're
right.
gross.
You're right. You're right. And for me, it is a deal breaker.
Yeah. And
The
if
cheating
the
thing, only
person
because
starts as a cheater,
Yeah.
and you meet them as a cheater, because
Oh, that's
I
so
met as a cheater. I met a cheater
true. You met a cheater when he was cheating.
when he was cheating.
He was cheating with somebody
and
else on you.
And then I didn't even know
too.
until
Me
4
too.
months later.
Me
And then
too.
when you fucking find out, you're like, and they'll gaslight you. They'll be like, we're really in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the same person, by the way,
Yep.
when I got together with them, they were cheating on someone else with me.
Yep.
So it was a pattern with this person that I feel like whenever they're in a relationship, they cheat and get in a new relationship instead of leaving that previous relationship.
And not that everyone's like this.
No,
everyone.
No, this is our experience.
This is
with
like
a certain
an experience
person.
with a very particularly mentally demented person. But
I will say though, he's not the only one that does this. There are other people that do this.
there are other people that do this, and I think this day and age we have so many different devices and apps and certain things to cheat with.
That is true.
Sorry,
There are
burp is
many
coming.
ways to find it nowadays. And there's a long distance thing that people like to do.
I think
And-
long distance is more of like a thing now.
Well, especially cheating.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah,
that
for
person's not in their
sure.
backyard. So it's safe. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're over there across the country.
I am
or
100%
whatever.
guilty of that. That is
Okay,
something
see?
that is a habit that I
That's-
pick up. If I
that's
do not
that
feel
one,
good in
yeah.
a relationship, I will cheat on you with someone online, and I've done it numerous times.
See, I just like cut it loose.
But you
Don't-
learn. You
Yeah,
learn.
yeah. You hopefully
You
learn
eventually
from it.
learn. You're like, this is never gonna work. Long distance is hard. I don't even know if that was a topic that we were gonna do today.
Long distance.
Long distance
It's
is
a thing
so
now, though.
hard.
It's people like to do that now.
They
I don't
like
get
to
it
do
personally.
It's so hard. It's not. I mean,
I don't
in LA,
understand
long
it.
distance is like Long Beach, from LA to Long
LA
Beach.
to Long Beach, yeah.
It will never work. It
Or
will
even Redondo. For
Yeah.
you live in the valley and someone lives in Redondo, it's like.
Or like you live
Gonna
on the
work.
east side and they live in the west side. Hoo ain't
Or
gonna
even
happen.
the valley in the west
Oh,
side.
I've had people that are like
That's-
the valley.
Yeah.
You live in the valley. It's like, yeah, I live in the valley. You can find a parking space here.
It is, yeah. There's a drastic difference for those who don't know LA between the west side. The west side is like, you think of Beverly Hills, Hollywood,
Yeah.
West LA, Santa Monica, west
Right.
side, right? Then there's the valley, which is like Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Encino, all that, there's more than that, but I'm just saying. So the hills separate the two, and it's a thing. It's like you live on the west side, they look down on the valley, for sure. The the weather's completely different too. It's really hot here in the
It's
valley.
really hot here.
And it's nice
and someone might find
cool.
that not
like
attractive.
like us.
We don't like
We
summer's
don't like the
amongst us, and we're
heat.
disgusted.
We
I
don't
cannot.
like
I'm
the
already melting
heat.
just from lamps, so I don't know.
You feel it, don't
I'm
you?
gonna
Yeah.
melt so bad this summer. We don't
I'm
have
gonna melt.
central air.
We are. Oh, I don't know how you would do that, Jen.
I don't know how I do it. I'm like an old Baptist
know.
woman in church with like
Woo!
a fan, like it with a fan in my face.
You're like, oh Lord, oh
yeah,
Lord.
literally. And I put, I got an air cooler that I put through my window, so I have to pop out a glass square in my old house and pop this little like tube through, and then I get air in my room, and my room is the coolest like in the summer.
And you know what? Like fans don't work when it's hot unless it's, they just don't work.
No. And my parents, you've got elders in the house, right? certain people love their air conditioning, and certain people don't want to run their air conditioning because they're too cheap. So they'll literally be like, the fan is okay. Like my grandma would do this. She would sit in front of the fan sweating bullets. She was from Alabama, okay? And she would just fan her face, and you would see the tears of sweat coming down, the eye makeup like dripping down, and she'd be like, I'm fine. You're a pussy. Like you can't handle this.
She said, you're a pussy.
She said, you're
and
a pussy.
And how'd she get Southern? Was she Southern?
She's an Alabama Grammy. She was literally from Birmingham. Well, Opelika, Alabama.
So she wasn't. Okay, you did it right then.
A real Southern belle.
A real Southern.
And a real Southern slut.
Oh,
sorry.
My family comes from the South, so I know how that is. A Southern slut. Southern slut.
She's probably like so mad at me wherever she is in the universe. She's like, that was not
or
bad. She's laughing. She's probably laughing. She thinks it's funny.
No, for me, Jen, it is a deal breaker, cheating. But I'm in a different place. Like I have spiritually had this huge awakening, and what I would require, I shouldn't say require, but what I would look for in a relationship is so drastically different. I have no room for that kind of thing. I don't have that room for drama and stuff. It just, it doesn't suit me.
Well, I think like once you come from something that's traumatic to some degree, some breakups are traumatic, and whatever connection you have with someone at some point, depending on how you take it, you set up a certain standard afterwards where you're like, I will never put myself through
you have your
that
boundaries.
shit again.
Your boundaries.
And with every person that you meet out thereafter, you might date someone, for a couple of months, or you're talking to someone and you're just like, nope, you just fucking put an axe in it. Like this ain't going the way I like it. And it gets a little better with age because you see
the red flags.
Like, okay.
You see the red flags and you notice the red flags and you're like, okay, yeah, no way. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, if you ignore those red flags,
you're always right. Your intuition
always right. Your
right.
intuition's not off. So don't even second guess yourself. Yeah. If in men, women, I don't care who it is.
Right.
You get a red flag at the beginning. You might even be a little turned on or aroused by the red flag because you're like, oh, it's something dotty.
What is that, Jen?
I don't know. I'll see it fucked up. There's a lot of levels of therapy for people.
I really want to know what that is.
There's
your
a
turn
lot.
On your red flag turn on.
Well, I like a lot of red flag men. Red
flag men.
Red flag men.
So in other words, you're attracted to the men that have red flags. Is what you're saying?
I like my men now that I'm older and been through like the biggest red flags, like Spain bullfighting red flags. Like I now like my men with a hint of red flag, just a hint, like just a little bit of red flag.
A little naughty,
like,
a little
like
bad
a
boy.
Republican. I don't know.
Like what?
Sometimes
that's literally red. Literally red.
Sometimes
you like a Republican
just for fun once in a while.
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking like bad boy. You like the bad boy?
Oh, of course. They have to be a bad boy.
Really?
Yeah. I can't. Or a total nerd. It's either bad boy.
That's very
or
different.
Fucking nerd. And
so
they've all been
nothing in between.
Like the last one was a nerd, not a bad boy. Whew. But that nerd. Sometimes those nerds.
Wait. You're talking about what the same person?
Like the last relationship was a nerd.
You're not talking about Snarf.
No, Snarf is. He ain't cool.
No, but he's bad though.
He's a bad boy.
He's
but
a
he's
bad
not, like,
nerd.
One of those, like,
he's a bad nerd. He's a bad nerd. He's a bad nerd isn't the right word for him.
Nerd.
Not nerd. Nerd is
the
like
word.
somebody who's kind of like awkward. It not that way though, and kind of more quiet and doesn't know how to act and with around women. No, not like that though. And maybe he's really smart and he's just, you know, he was a dork. I don't know. He's a dork, not a nerd. There's a difference between a dork and a nerd.
I never thought of that.
No, he's not a nerd.
I do really like nerds.
You like nerds or dorks?
I like nerds, but I don't like dorks. I'm not into a dork.
Okay, and he's a dork.
And I think like some people might not even know the dorkness of people. I mean, okay, the dork was like a big thing in the 90s and the 80s. Dork was like a big word.
Yeah, dork.
So when you think of a dork, you kind of think of like Screech from like Saved by the Bell. Who's like a dork?
He's kind of a nerd though too.
Who's like Booger from?
He's a dork.
Booger.
From Animal House. What was Booger in?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds.
That's a nerd,
Booger, but
he's kind of a dork.
dork.
He's a dork. But yeah, there's like dorks. Like I don't know. There's a lot of dorks out there.
Okay, so you're gonna have to edit that. Snarf. Snarf is kind of like Booger, but with like a twist.
I'm trying to remember. Think of who he
sociopath.
reminds. Yeah, that's the dangerous part. That is the dangerous part. Sociopath. If you
people
think,
kind of like second guess sociopath,
if you think you're with
they
a
say
sociopath,
narcissist. Everyone's
yeah, they
but
get confused by the
some
two.
people are actually just sociopath.
Some people are both.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a sociopath and a narcissist, and I think people have a hard time distinguishing what is what.
Yeah.
Right? But if you are with somebody that you think is a sociopath, an actual sociopath,
Run. I was with one, and this was not Snarf. Snarf was nothing. Like Snarf is just so innocent in comparison to this. Like almost a joke. I was with a real sociopath, like with a schizophrenic disorder, non-treated mental
really?
Schizoaffective disorder.
Wow.
So it's kind of like bipolar and schizophrenia. It's very scary. So
Wow.
untreated,
Oh my gosh, Jen.
you're in a possibly violent, volatile like situation. I don't know.
Scary.
We kind of steered off subject,
No,
but not really.
No, because it's still like we're talking about red flags too. You know,
Red
what's a deal breaker?
flag.
What's a deal breaker in a relationship? And the cheating's a deal breaker. I mean, there's a lot of deal breakers from
There's
a
a lot of deal
relationship.
breakers, but yeah.
Clinginess and possessiveness and
I like the clinginess to a
no,
degree. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, they need to have independence, like
But
healthy
something's
independence.
weird when they call you all the time, and then all of a sudden they stop.
Well, it's not
You're
just
like they're putting that energy into something else.
It depends on how they're calling you. If they're calling you like, and if you don't answer right away, freaking out, because
Yeah.
that's not normal.
I've been with a lot of
I need
not
my
normal.
independence. I need my independence. I do, and I can't have somebody breathing down my neck.
I'm
It
like,
drives me nuts.
You're right. I think the more that I've hung out with Jen, the more appreciative of my independence I have become. I think you've had set a good example of that. No, I'm serious. Like, I think it's really kind of helped me be like calm and like, no, I don't want that. That is something I don't want.
Right. To not
You
just
don't-
accept something because it's there. Like you don't need it. You're okay taking time for yourself and being with yourself.
What I realized with like love or like meeting people, you can't, like, if they make you feel bad in any way, you feel second guessing, red flag, whatever, the gut feeling. But
Yeah.
if they make you feel not yourself, run. Don't extend that.
And if they
You
gaslight
gotta
you,
get out of that.
telling
Yeah.
you what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Because
And
of
there's
their
a lot
behavior.
of that now.
It's very common. It's so common, Jen.
I think a lot of men will be like, "Oh, gaslighting. Why don't you use a new word?" Like,
But that's what it is.
There's a lot of battle of the sexes with that one.
But that's really what it is, Jen. I mean, then don't do it. No one ever have to say it again if you don't want to hear it.
You're right. It's really not good when they gaslight you and bring you. Never mind. I almost said something weird or.
That's okay.
I
think they're used to it by now. Yeah. Everybody's used to it by now.
Mm-hmm.
But something I want to talk about, transitioning over and.
Oh.
Oh. What?
Hormones?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Jen has something special to show
off.
Oh,
I mean, this isn't important yet, but yes.
No.
Hormones!
Okay. Hormones. And dealing with hormones. Okay. And there's a lot to say about hormones. First of all, you know, people don't like to talk about women, you know, going into whatever menopause or whatever, or even periods. Men don't like to hear about people don't like to hear about periods.
This one's for the ladies.
There is for the men too, because we're going to talk about men. Really? We're not just I want to talk about men too.
Well, men's hormones.
Menopause.
Menopause.
Or
That's a
men
good one.
on pause.
Men on pause.
Because really, women aren't the only ones that experience this, and I think. For women, it's very clear cut.
Guys lose their testosterone.
Yeah, it's clear cut with women. When you lose your period, that's the indicator. Whereas men don't have a period, so they have no way. There's no
to really
indicator.
Know that it's happening. They just go and have a really good midlife crisis.
But they're.
That's when they get the midlife crisis card, the midlife crisis younger woman, the midlife crisis.
Everything. Oh, they just go crazy.
The midlife crisis,
the little toupees
and
account. And whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
do men do toupees now?
Hair? No, they do like there's different things they do now, like hair plugs.
Get little I'm gonna have to get some hair plugs, by the way. Like something's going on, you guys.
No, you
don't. This is gonna bring my hair back, and I'm not endorsed by this company, but it's.
I read
it's hormone and ovarian support, and it helps you get like fertile, but like not like I'm not trying to have like
Jen.
What if I'm gonna have the immaculate conception?
Yeah, someone's gonna look at you and it's gonna be like
it's chiro and inositol.
Chiro, like
chiro, CHIRO, and inositol, and it's supposed to help your hair from like falling out because and it's supposed to like put diamonds in your ovaries. So we're gonna see.
That sounds uncomfortable.
We're gonna see if I can pop some.
No, but for men, it is like men have physical changes too. Men have physical reactions. They like women.
Like they
just
have
weight.
That their whole fucking life.
They get. No, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Yeah, when they can no longer hold that one beer a night, and a beer belly just comes in.
They can't get it up as easily. They also no they
they might not be able to ejaculate.
They have hair loss too, and they also
get hair loss too.
They get saggier. They
they get not saggier.
They lose muscle tone.
She's making it sound so gross.
They lose muscle. No, they have a lot of the loss of testosterone.
No, in all seriousness, yeah.
They do. So I think the focus is always on women, which, I mean, it should be too. But I'm just saying that men also go through a change.
They do. You know what's so interesting? They really don't talk about the change that men go through.
No, they don't.
They talk about getting testosterone injections. That's one of the things that I see at the med spas and stuff.
HGH, growth hormone. They talk about that. Yeah. That's for men and women. But women are also used to hormonal changes because we have them every month. So when that comes around, it's just a big hormonal change. It's different. And men,
I'm always on my period. Just kidding.
No,
but I feel like I'm on big thing with the hormones for me. Just I'm like talking from my standpoint. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm always fucking PMSing. Ever since I turned 40, I am always PMSing. My hair is kind of falling out. There are chin hairs or weird things happening here. My face is sagging. There's more of a double chin. There's just weird things that are happening, you guys, and it's fucking scary. And I wish women would talk about it.
I feel like though that when this happens, as you start to age, you have to to take better care of yourself.
You
You're
have
forced
to take better care of yourself.
You're forced to, or you don't have to, but you'll see that if you don't, what's going to happen. I mean,
your hair will fall out. Like,
that's not the only thing, but you're forced to take care of yourself, and
it's harder to like lose weight. The sleep is weird. Like I'll wake up at like 3.
Yeah.
Jen actually told me about taking magnesium chews.
At
they have
night.
helped me so much. I
They
feel
do.
so
They
calm.
you, yeah.
Even if I'm like having a bit of an anxiety attack, I'll just eat half of one and then I'll go sit on the couch and I feel
better.
Calm. Yeah.
You probably have a magnesium deficiency. That's what.
And
that
I
tells
have a
me.
vitamin D deficiency.
As in the actual vitamin D3.
Yeah.
Guys, don't get too worked up. It's vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
I
had Jen popped one out. She was like a drug dealer today. She like popped all the freaking vitamin Ds. They all spilled out on the table, and then she took a freaking card and started making a line of them.
She snorted it.
Yeah.
If you wondered what's wrong with us today,
everything, everything
between that and the coffee,
it took us about 2 years to just set up. I was like putting
shadow. It took us extra long today. I don't know.
Smearing mascara into my eyelids. I was like, I don't like this angle. I don't know what to do. So, and we brought the bananas out. The banana wasn't here. The pineapple wasn't here.
Oh, that was a big deal. Yeah.
We got an audience.
We have a lot going on. A cat. So also, I wanted to say, like, also as people age, this is not just when you age, this is important, is the thing people do when they start gaining weight. I got to exercise more. And they ramp up the cardio.
That is something that I've been guilty of. And then I'm finding myself it's not
good
losing
for
weight.
You.
Yeah.
What you do when you overdo the cardio, women, especially women, need to hear this. When you overdo the
she
cardio,
just told me this the other day.
What happens is your cortisol levels go in overdrive because you're stressing your body out. So stress in general raises cortisol levels, but physical stress on your body also raises cortisol levels.
That's great.
So when your cortisol levels go up, it's a hormone in your body it reacts to stress, okay? When that happens, your body goes into this mode of like hanging on to fat and weight. And so you hold on to fat. Not only that, your skin sags. Your skin sags. Your skin loses collagen. Your skin gets all like ruddy and uneven tone, and hair loss.
So you're doubling up. So what's happening is your body's slowing down. You're recognizing, I can't lose weight like I used to, and my skin's not looking great. So you're right. Like the very first thing, and I would say this as firsthand, you go to the gym and you work out really hard, and then you end up getting like injuries and shit.
Yes.
And then you're just like, why won't like the midsection go away? Like certain things, because you're like ramping up the cortisol, which is so fucking scary because it's so true.
It is very true. And so what happens is these women get on these treadmills and run their little butt off, and then like try to starve themselves, and they somehow gain weight, and they wonder why. But a lot of times they get skinny fat, which means, if you don't know what skinny fat is where a person they're not big, they're not fat, but they're all mushy, and
they're
they have kind of
mushy.
They have like areas where they're carrying weight in certain areas, right? So and that's because their cortisol levels are shooting up, and they're losing muscle tone because you're not gaining muscle. So they get skinny fat and saggy, and it ages you. So the best thing a woman can do, this sounds so graphic.
Can I just Russ, will you just dig 6 feet for me and I'll hop in and you can put all the dirt on me, because I think I've hit my cortisol hellhole. Like my hair is falling out. I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym. I bust my ass. But this is like interesting. This is really good.
Yeah, because you don't need. Okay,
I've been doing a little bit of strength training.
It's working out smarter, not harder. That's what it is.
Yeah, and changing your diet.
Strength training is important.
Yeah,
for
that's
women,
what I started doing.
Especially for bone loss. You don't want bone loss. Plus, whenever you work out,
I've had people challenge me on this that are like,
"Oh no,
you shouldn't be lifting weights. You're gonna get really buff." I'm like, no, it's so important.
You don't have to lift like huge weights either. You don't have to like heavy lift.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But you should do strength training. It's very important to keep you young. Very important for youth. And then not only that, the muscle burns fat. The muscle burns fat. So remember that.
That's it. So I had someone in the gym tell me. I had someone in the gym mansplain.
Yeah.
I did. I finally had a mansplain. Do not do the cardio first. Do the training, the strength training first. Do your weights. You don't have to do heavy weights. You can do 20, 15, 10, 5. Okay.
Okay.
But you really shouldn't be pushing it over 50 unless you're like accommodated to doing that.
That's true.
So I'm doing about 30 to 40.
Okay.
On the arm. So it took like 3 months to kind of get conditioned to that.
Yeah.
And he said, do the cardio first. Do about 20 minutes of cardio first, and then do the weight training. That's how you do the lifting or whatever after.
Okay, so the only kind of cardio you should do, you really should, guys,
just bicycle. I'm doing
HIIT,
low impact
HIIT training.
What is that?
It's either HIIT training. Okay, there's
like,
one.
What is
one of
that?
two
Let me
things.
have one of my
HIIT training.
drinks.
High intensity interval training, which is you do really intense reps. It's like doing reps, but in cardio, like 30 seconds of intensity, and then taking a break of a minute and doing it.
Like little like almost.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's what you should. Or do moderate, light and moderate.
Kind of like
light and moderate, but not just running for long periods of time on a red treadmill.
Oh my God. I'll say the women that do Pilates, and I
Pilates,
can't afford it. That's like probably
yoga.
the best middle-aged thing you can be doing. Like that I have seen. Yeah, in yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, they look calm, they look relaxed, and they look lengthened and like, I don't know. And here I'm over here like, Barney, give me a rock. Let me lift up the... Edit that.
Well, you can do both. No, we're not editing that out. You
Let
can
me
do
lift
both.
Up.
You can do both. You don't lift.
I feel like a Flintstone.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the monotonic family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a place right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred to beat. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do.
When I'm in the gym, I'm like, Barney.
What does Barney do, Jen?
I don't know. They lift rocks.
Oh, do they? Okay. I'm trying to remember them. Maybe
and
they
then
did.
afterwards, I'm like, steak.
That's how they work out.
And after that, I'm like, I need protein. Let me eat a big dead cow leg. Oh my God.
Ooh.
I eat a lot of protein. But
cow legs?
Like, I'm starting. I think something's in this powder.
It's not.
Woo! I feel the menopause leaving my body.
Let's see. Ingredients.
I don't know, Jen.
Meth. Oh no. So.
Oh, don't tell them.
No. Jeez, meth.
When I come back, I'll have no teeth and
I'll hair.
Be like 40 pounds thinner, no hair, no teeth. But I will be 40 pounds thinner.
You will be, and no Ozempic.
It's in here, right? Yeah, no Ozempic, and
No
you'll be popping babies out when you're like 55.
Woo! Jen's gonna pop a baby out.
Maybe I'm doing
Baby's
it wrong.
gonna
Maybe
be all
this
buff.
is for younger women.
I have no idea what it is.
Pop out a little baby Barney.
I have
Barney.
no idea
Barney.
what that is. Barney. She might pop another baby out.
I'm not too old to
don't
pop
you
another
wanna,
baby. I'm 39 years old.
Don't you want another sister or brother? Yeah.
I am 39 years old.
She gets younger every no, she gets younger every week.
That is a lie. I tell people I'm older, so they'll look at me and say,
her
you
alone.
look really good for your age.
Sometimes she wants people to leave her alone.
Because they're coming up to me all the time and they're like, you look like you're 20. And I'm like, thank you. I'm really 39.
Minus 5.
No.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? You can believe what you want to believe. I had you when I was 20. I don't even know
when she was 12.
I don't know how to do math.
12. She was only 12. It was
And
a
apparently
miracle
you
birth.
don't either.
According to Earl, Jenn started her period. She started her period at like 9 or 10, according to Earl.
Oh my God,
How old
Earl.
were you really, Jenn?
I was 12.
I was 2. Okay,
My
we were both
aunt
12.
Felissa. Okay, this is really cute.
Your
My
Aunt
aunt
Flo.
Felissa, who passed away, my favorite family member that I've ever had in the history of life. She took me. You're my first favorite of anyone. So my aunt comes in my room and I'm like embarrassed. I'm going through this change where I was on softball team doing all this stuff. I was 12 years old. I'm taping my boobs down. I
Oh.
don't want to be becoming a woman. And then I get my period and I was horrified because the first thing I thought, I'm dying. Blood's coming out of me. What is this?
You didn't know what it was?
I knew what it was, but the initial thought was, I'm bleeding. Where am I bleeding from? Like, I think I thought, yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Then I freaked out. My mom gave me a maxi pad. Doesn't say much, of course. And my aunt comes over and my aunt's like,
your Aunt Flo was there too.
My Aunt Flo and my Aunt Felissa.
Yeah.
And Felissa comes over and she's like trying to make me feel better. And she's like, you know, it could be worse. And in some African society, in some societies, they have parties. They'll get their period and they'll throw an entire party, and then you have to get married off and get a husband when you're 12 years old and start family and have children. I was like, oh God. And it actually did make me feel better. I was like, that is terrible. Can you imagine having like a party to celebrate your period where the whole village or the whole town comes and you get married off?
Would be. Oh God! Where was this?
I mean, this actually, unfortunately, this happens in more countries than
it probably
not.
still happens.
Yeah. I guess, you know, once you can have a child,
once you're fertile,
in some countries,
it's like time to pop out those babies.
You have an arranged marriage, and the entire town is invited. Now, I'm generalizing, but yeah, we have it lucky here. You get some McDonald's.
No,
you get some McDonald's when you get your period.
Well, I did get McDonald's. You didn't know though.
No,
Earl said he did.
I'm thinking of Earl.
Earl, where did this come from?
Know. I had some McDonald's.
I did. I had McDonald's. Earl is real. He's real. He's
your
second cousin.
Second cousin removed.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Earl. Woo.
You saw Earl. I showed you him.
Yeah. So yeah, Earl. Right.
That stinker.
That Earl. That Earl.
Shoosh,
yeah, Earl did.
Yeah.
Earl pretended to be Jenn.
Crazy Earl. Remember when he was living in our roof?
Traumatizing.
Yeah, he was just living in our roof with the raccoons. Came down.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I just hope. Let's not talk about Earl because then we might bring him to fruition.
He might.
I'm
back.
I'm a powerful manifester. Okay.
I feel it.
Worried.
I can feel it in my gut that Earl's coming to town soon.
Hang on. You've got a there in your
hair
eyelash.
that's falling
In your
off.
eyelash. Yeah. So
the next time you come, I'll shave my head.
Oh, geez, Jenn.
I will have my Britney moment at 39 years old. 39 3/4.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow, Jenn.
Well,
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be
when I have my 40th birthday is going to be a big shebang.
Oh boy, Earl will be there and everything. So basically, women don't, eating right. I think just eating right, exercising moderately.
Yes.
Right?
Getting yourself a cat. By the way, I have to tell something really important, you guys, before we go. The Hollywood Cemetery has had a black cat for many, many years.
Yes.
And he's been a friendly little cat. They've had people going there to feed him, and he just got his forever home.
Aww.
And he has a name. Let's see what his name is. His name's Close Up, because he would always take
cute.
And we're gonna put a photo up of him. He's really cute. So he has a forever home. I love it.
Yes, that's amazing. For those who don't know, about that story, but
this has a forever home.
This one has I have two cats that I've adopted that came strays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, not technically, but they live
No,
here.
Jen
basically.
gave birth to them. She had a C-section with double kitties.
I took some of this, and miraculously, I had cats.
She had an Oreo. She had one little black one and one little white one. They popped out, and they were fully grown.
Yes. So now I have 2 strays that now are eating everything. I mean, like, literally all day long. Those 2 cats eat all day long, Noah. They will not stop eating. And now they're in the yard. They're in the front yard
all day long.
Bobby and Shadow, and so now they won't leave.
We're cat people.
That's what happens when you feed an animal. We also have a squirrel, 2 squirrels. Well,
Sandy.
one squirrel that we feed.
I have 2 children.
You stay away from this stuff. You're not supposed to take it. Come on. Stay out of it. It's bad. Yes. So anyway, I'd like to talk more about like hormones and female stuff too, because there's a lot to say about this. But for now, we're gonna go and
thank you, and thanks for holding in there with all the ADD.
Hey.